Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check these headlines out. Andrew Keys of Ethereum confirms the SEC connection. We'll let you hear it yourself. Analyst says we better pray that Ripple wins this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. The Federal Reserve, we got a healthy reminder for everybody here. U.S. Senator introduces new crypto bill for 2022. And Polysign talks tokenized assets and atomic settlement. And don't forget about the United Nations and the XRP ledger. Let's get into it right now. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here today. $2.443 trillion market cap, ladies and gentlemen. We're up 2.65% on the cryptocurrency market cap, and we see right now Bitcoin over $51,800, Ethereum coming in over $4,100, Solana right now ringing in at $203 and change. Cardano's up to 156 with 27.66% gains on the 7-day, almost 7% of that in just 24 hours. We see right now XRP is at 94 cents with 2.7 gains on the 24-hour and 10.95 on the 7-day. Let's take a look at the range of price really quickly here. Ranging between 0.9151 on the bottom and 0.9563 on the top. That's where we're sitting there. Your numbers are brought to you by PureVPN, everybody. If you go to my video, and I know it will load here in just a second, and click on the first link in the description box or in the comment section, I'm telling you right now, you can get a PureVPN and you can get the best deal you could ever get. And you're talking about helping to hide your identity online, leave no trace, digital trace of your identity online is what we're talking about. And you can get up to 88% off right now if you use the link in the description and comment box. Let's get to the news right here. This is Andrew Keys. He's been with Ethereum since its inception and is responsible for the largest staked Ether pool for Ethereum 2. He says in that you and the SEC are working with him and consensus together for consumer protection. Take a listen for yourself here.
Management infrastructure arm where we build software infrastructure for institutions to be able to participate in this market. And then lastly, we have an entity called Token Foundry, which I believe to be the next generation of investment banking or equity crowdfunding. And lastly, we have what we've called Project Brooklyn, which is a multi-stakeholder environment, open source working group that includes the SEC, the European central banks, to work on consumer protections and best practices around tokenization.
Well, you heard it right there, didn't you? And based on what you heard there of Andrew Keys acknowledging that they definitely are working together with the SEC, getting that free pass, you have to ask yourself, great question here by Dr. X Flair. Check this out. It's a great question for, hopefully John Deaton can field this one here. Based on the evidence you've uncovered along with digital asset investor, TAIG, we know Ripple I, myself, do we have standing as a class to sue or ask the courts to restrain the launch of Ethereum 2.0 without clarity from our wonderful plaintiff? What an amazing question. And to go along with that, looking at the actions of William Hinman and Jay Clayton in their tenure, and now what would be a continuation with Gary Gensler's leadership here, is there a violation to Sherman antitrust laws from Jay Clayton and William Hinman while at the SEC? Certainly appears that way, and it certainly does appear that way, that they are really providing for and helping to create a monopoly for Ethereum's network by them being the only ones up until now to be able to operate in full capacity, or at least given that impression by the SEC by the lack of action towards their network and their group and foundation. It just, the questions keep coming. Take a look here. This is long-term critic Lark Davis of RippleXRP, who says we should all be rooting for a Ripple win. And it's no surprise that it's dawned on him, as it has many others this far into the game, more than a year later, that yes, the SEC versus Ripple and XRP is a case that represents the entire crypto space. And if you are not a fan, and you do not have to be a fan of Ripple or XRP to really understand the larger implication of this case and why you should root for Ripple and XRP in this case, just so the whole industry can land on the better side for the sake of innovation. That's no joke there. This is a healthy reminder right here about the Federal Reserve Bank, which, by the way, is not federal, has no reserves, and is not actually a bank. And that's how we get into the troubles we are in today, and all the trillions and trillions of dollars that we see printed around the world. And this lady right here is looking to change things and introduce a new cryptocurrency bill next year. That's Senator Cynthia Lummis right there. And she is looking to introduce a bill that will cover these topics right here. It says a well-known Bitcoin hodler and will reportedly introduce a new crypto bill next year. It will be covering everything from consumer protections to how crypto is taxed and categorized, which we desperately need. The main purpose of the bill will be to provide regulators with clear, concise guidance on which assets belong to various asset classes, to regulate stablecoins, and to protect consumers. Also, the bill would also see the creation of a new organization that would be under the joint jurisdiction of the United States Securities Exchange Commission and the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. That, I don't know if we need another extra set of hands in on this whole thing, but we'll see how it lays out when she introduces it. Crypto Potato reported that Cynthia Lummis, senator, will be serving as a U.S. Senate Banking Committee, and Bloomberg reports, though, that the proposed bill would likely face a tough path in the Senate, which is split evenly on partisan lines on matters of cryptocurrency. So it's an uphill climb, it would appear. However, things are moving on around the world. Polysign, created by Arthur Brito from Ripple and David Schwartz. This is Polysign's Jack McLeod and Tim Bosco explain what you need to know about tokenization has the potential to transform the financial services industry as we know it. Take a look here. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. You can breathe a sigh of relief. Tokenized assets accounting and transfers are completely decentralized, meaning that ownership is validated by multiple participants in the network. However, most tokenization platforms today are not completely open and have had to incorporate various restrictions to ensure accountability for compliance with regulatory requirements relating to Know Your Customer, KYC, anti-money laundering, AML, and cybercrime. Introducing tokens also changes the way payments are made for the delivery of assets. If both securities and the cash required for payments reside on the same DLT and are already linked to an account on that ledger, then a single ledger transfer can take place through a process called atomic settlement. Remember that. Can take place through atomic settlement. In the future, though, we should expect that tokens will also be required to represent cash and payment legs between different DLT platforms because the order and timing of those transfers is critically important. Smart contracts or transaction protocols that automatically execute based on a sequence of processing steps will likely be needed to conditionally process both transaction legs across platforms where true atomic settlement is not possible. In order to fulfill the cash transfer on a blockchain without introducing additional volatility associated with cryptocurrencies, many existing tokenization platforms currently take advantage of a special type of token called a stablecoin, whose value is tied to a stable real-world asset like the US dollar or gold. Likewise, the industry may soon be able to leverage digital currency issued by central bank CBDCs, which would be backed by the issuing government's monetary authority. All this to say, notice that comment can take place through a process called atomic settlement. You know what else has atomic settlement? In the XRP ledger, Rippling describes a process of atomic net settlement between multiple connected parties who have trust lines for the same currency. Take a look here. this is a reminder, Zang.com, because then you're thinking, yeah, but they were talking about derivatives, tokenized assets, Brad. Yes, they were. And this is a reminder right here from Ripple. Given the XRP ledger's performance, scalability, and green attributes, Zang.com selected the blockchain to build a carbon credit solution with the United Nations for a securities exchange platform in Africa. This is a reminder right here of exactly that. We reported on it. The XRP ledger was built with sustainability in mind and is one of the first major carbon neutral blockchain due to its federated consensus algorithm. The XRP ledger is significantly more efficient compared to proof of work blockchains and ensures low cost transactions. All of this is in conjunction and collaboration with the Zang.com, a securities exchange collaborating with the United Nations Development Systems. That's what we're talking about here. And I hear the same kind of verbiage and same kind of language coming from Polysign, which makes sense because the creators there are David Schwartz and Arthur Brito, also from Ripple, right? All of this stuff seems to be leading us to a grand place. And I can't wait to see it all take place. But none of it, I believe, really takes place without the settlement of this lawsuit in some way, shape, or form or the other. But with clarity, right? That's the key part here, with clarity. We don't have clarity, we don't have nothing, just like we've got today, right? But I think ultimately what we're seeing is the grand rollout of all of this around the world and eventually right here in the United States too. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and share with somebody you know. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Check out all the links in the description and comment section. Be very careful what you click out on here in the interwebs because these are trusted, vetted links. I'll catch all of you, all of you on the next one.